Tesla back to $200 per share. What's going on, guys? It's For You and Tech Solutions. I'm totally joking. I'm just messing with you guys for those that get so easily offended when someone else shares an opinion that might not align with you and what you think. I believe personally Tesla is an incredibly overvalued and overhyped up stock. Today, after the market closes, Tesla is set to report earnings, and I will be live streaming it. So if you want to tune on in, just smash that like button on this video and make sure that you subscribe. With that being said, what should you be aware of? Well, first off, what are the expectations for today? Tesla today is set to report earnings, and it has an EPS of 40 cents per share and revenue expectation of $22.4 billion. Yes, all the red that you see here are previous quarterly earning reports, and these are the reactions. It's just to show you how terrible Tesla has recently been performing. I want to remind you that the last time that it actually reported earnings, it was still under the Trump hype. So therefore, although it reported atrocious earnings, coming in at 12 cents per EPS when the expectation was 42, it was a 71% miss, yet the stock still pushed up 9%. So this is why in yesterday's video, I'm all for talking about the fundamentals and that the fundamentals do not align with the price. But I know that in this market full of greed, and I want to make sure that it's very well understood, in this market full of greed, yes, even with Tesla reporting terrible earnings, if Elon Musk does a really good job selling the story of Tesla to investors, the stock can still react in a positive way. And I acknowledge that even though I know that Tesla is overvalued. Remember, that's been the theme for 2025. With a good story and good price momentum, the stock can continue to push up. There's no reason to pretend that it can't. All I'm saying that is if I was a beginner and I'm looking to invest in a good deal, Tesla would not be it. And the reason why is that, well, Tesla fundamentally trades at an insane PE ratio, meaning that it trades at 170 times of what the company actually produces. Feel free to look it up. There's a big disconnect, meaning that you're simply paying a premium to own it as of right now. Tesla is notorious for pulling on back. It's one of the most volatile, magnificent 7 stocks out there. It rallies to 488. It comes crashing down 50%. And that is why, just like when I made videos about Tesla at $400, about it being overvalued, and everyone crapped on the video because they thought that I was hurting beginners, I want to remind you, all I'm encouraging in this video is for beginners to be aware of the risk that they are choosing to take. That is all. In this market full of greed, I don't think it's the best idea to always just jump into the hype blindly without taking the downside risk into consideration. Tesla is no longer a growing company. That's not an opinion, that's a fact. Its sales are down year over year, 2 quarters in a row. And on top of that, now there's this negative sentiment for Tesla because of Elon. But I do believe that Elon can sell a really good story for Tesla to maybe excite investors for a short period of time. The biggest thing that I want to remind you is, well, if things do get worse, how bad can they get? I want to remind you a previous support range that we were just at means that Tesla could sell off at least 35%. The reason I highlight that is because of how important I think it is for a beginner to not just think about, oh, it can go to 360, oh, it can go to 400. Great, 20, 10, 30% potential, but at what risk? Again, the risk for this based off of a recent previous support range, and in my opinion, it's still overvalued at $200 per share, is a 35% retracement. The biggest thing that I would like to learn more about is Elon and his ability to explain its EV credit that it's going to be losing for 2 reasons. First off, if Tesla loses, or when Tesla, because it's not if, all of you guys know that, Tesla even announced it themselves. Tesla is losing the $7,500 EV tax credit for consumers. So therefore, the first thing I want to highlight is how are they going to keep up with the demand when demand is already falling, when those credits now go away. Now there's less of an incentive to buy a Tesla. With interest rates incredibly high, we all know that Teslas, again, I own 2 Teslas. I love my Teslas, but they are the worst depreciating vehicle on the road. They always depreciate at least 50%. Now you're saying we're not going to get an EV credit. And on top of that, now Tesla is not going to get any of those regulatory credits. Tesla booked $3.5 billion in regulatory credits in 2024, with analysts projecting $3 billion in 2025. That is roughly 3% of Tesla's $97.7 billion in revenue. But the difference is that essentially it's free money, selling zero commission vehicles, and nearly all of Tesla's reported free cash flow from last year. So yes, the $3 billion, although in comparison to all revenue is only 3%, you have to think that's just free money. That's just profit. And when you look at how much money this company actually makes or takes home, again, when you look at the actual breakdown, this company made $6.1 billion last year. So you're telling me that 3.5 of those billion of profit came from those EV credits, the subsidies provided by the government. So that means, just looking at these numbers, while it loses those EV credits, not only is demand expected to drop, but also its revenue and net profit of free money will now begin to go away. Something to take into consideration. Something to see if Elon expands on during that earnings call. But I can promise you that he will not, because that will only shed more negative light and uncertainty for Tesla investors. I just want you to be aware, because I do believe that Tesla has the potential to rocket today, because Elon is really good at selling the story for Tesla. But I want you to see what the red flags are on the fundamentals. But in short term, fundamentals don't matter. Long term, fundamentals always matter. And again, I am showing you the data. It's not an opinion. I'm not trying to fear monger you or whatever it is that they call it. I'm making you aware of why Tesla, there is uncertainty about its future. How will it keep up demand with already falling demand with no more tax credit? And how will it keep up revenue by losing $3 billion a year of free money, knowing that this company last year only made $6.1 billion? Think about that. So again, very excited to see what ends up happening. One thing that I just shared with my LPP, I just wrapped up my live trading session with them. I opened up a 100 share short position. It's just a small position. It's 33 at 333 is what I opened it at. I'm okay with taking the risk. I opened up a short. If I lose 10%, I'm okay with that. I ended up making $3,000 here shorting Hood today. So I'm pretty much, if I lose 10% on Tesla, I'm break even for the day. I'm okay. I've already closed out my Hood short, so I'm fine with that. But I wanted you guys to see it. I don't just like to talk. I'm okay with putting some money behind it, and I'm excited to follow up and see what happens. Yes, I do believe Tesla has the potential to rocket with a really good story and with all the hype that it has behind it, because Elon Musk is an incredible CEO. At least he can be, and he has been in the past. But we'll see if Tesla investors just get fed up with poor earnings. And that's what I'm betting on, right? As you guys can see, 100 shares, average price 333, and I'm excited to see what ends up happening. So again, I appreciate you guys' time. I hope to see you guys for today's live earnings. If you ever want to watch me trade live, it's the second link in the description down below. So that short that I took on Hood, they got to see every entry and every exit that I took to make those $3,000. So if you're a beginner and you want to learn by watching other people do, it's not so you can copy, but so you can actually see someone trade live every single day. It's a one-time payment, lifetime access. If you want to learn more about it, second link in the description down below. If not, again, I'll see you today for our Tesla earnings live stream. But don't forget, Google or Alphabet, the mother company, is also set to report after the bell. I appreciate your time like always. Let's make sure that we end the year on a green note. Take care, team.